What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. I'm just out here overlooking the water before the live stream tonight. I hope y'all going to be tuned into the live stream tonight because it's going to be absolutely awesome. You know, we cook up on Wednesday nights. I think the wildest thing that I've heard in the news over the last 24 hours is the fact that Lizzo is being sued for fat shaming. Lizzo is being sued for fat shaming. And see, honestly, I kind of think that this is karma. Even though I don't agree with it, even though I think that it's a cash grab, I think it's karma. Because I think that she's empowered people that are overweight for so long to continue to move how they moving that now the very ones that she thought that she was empowering is coming back to haunt her. That's how God works. That's how God moves. God does not let you continue to do the things that you do without being accountable for the people that you're affecting. And so now the people that thought that they were victims, including her, are coming back to victimize the very ones that were seeking to empower them. Listen, this is what I know in life. You cannot continue to do the wrong thing and think that it's not going to come back and haunt you. It's just like anything else in life, right? The dude that sells dope to his community is eventually either going to become the crackhead, he's going to become locked up, or he's going to be victimized by the very people that is just like him and that he's empowering and influencing to do the same thing. They're going to want to take over his territory. They're going to want to get back at him. Somebody going to see him as a mark. He's going to have to do something in order to prove that you can't come over here and rob me, which is one of the reasons why, even as a young guy, I never ever wanted to get into the dope game and the drug game, because I understood that the karma, here's the thing, karma is not, oh, you did something bad to somebody else, God gonna make sure it happens to you. That's not what karma is. A lot of people think that karma is that whatever it is that you do in this lifetime, then the equal or opposite or worst thing is gonna happen to you. That is not karma. Y'all see the water through the window over there that I'm looking at off my balcony? That's not karma. Karma is the environment by which you create for yourself is then going to bear the very fruit that you have to eat. It's a difference. It has nothing to do with God per se. It has everything to do with how the universe works when it comes to bearing fruit, right? It's just like being a farmer. The very fruit that you plant is what your harvest is going to be. So if all of the people that you surround yourself with are monsters and snakes and people that are looking to harm you and rob you on a regular basis, those are the people that you're going to have to protect yourself from or be accountable to. And one slip is then going to be the demise of you, because they don't have to get it right every time. You have to be perfect every single time. And so it's the same thing when it comes to relationships. It's the same thing that when it comes to Lizzo, right? The very people that you think that is supporting you, the minute that you start to hold them accountable for the thing that you think makes the most sense, is the same way that we say that women like Lizzo shouldn't be out here advocating for big girls, because there's nothing good about being big. Even if you big, you know that you don't want to be big. Like, you don't want to be unhealthy. You don't want to be in a situation where when you walking up the street, you out of breath. Like, nobody wants to be that. Even big people don't want to be big people, which is one of the reasons why everybody is on a diet, right? So when you start to do this thing, but then I don't even think that Lizzo even believes that. I don't think that Lizzo wants to be big. I think that Lizzo understands the profit that comes along with it, but there's a payment that you have to then pay at the end of that rainbow. And her payment in this instance is the people that she's influencing is now coming back to haunt her. Because the minute that Lizzo starts to lose weight, similar to Adele, the people turn against her. Remember when Adele lost all of that weight? And then the people started getting mad at her because she started being healthy and living a better life and attracting a different type of man. I think she was talking to my man that was in charge of Clutch Sports. The people turned against her. And so unless you attract a different crowd, or unless you're willing to go through that circumstance in which you go through an uncomfortable moment and you transition into a whole new wave of people that then can add value into your life, you got to continue to feed the monster until the monster comes back and bites you. You got to continue to feed the tiger. When you first get the tiger, you think that the tiger is cute. Then at some point, the tiger grows up to be big enough to where if you don't feed the tiger, eventually the tiger is gonna come back and eat you. And this is the very karma that Lizzo created for herself. Now, obviously, again, I don't agree with it in the same way that I didn't agree with the fact that Lizzo was advocating for big girls, but it is what it is, and it's a cash grab. I honestly think it's a cash grab. I think it's an opportunity for people to benefit off of her, and that's what comes along with it. But all women are starting to pay the piper at this point. All women are starting to suffer at this point because of the transgressions and because of the ways in which they live their life. Women are starting to reap the benefits, good and bad. See, benefits don't necessarily, they're not always good. Sometimes they're bad, but all women are starting to reap the harvest of what it is that they sowed. They left their relationships, they suffering for it. They left their environments, they suffering for it, right? They decided that they want to go against the very men that's protecting them. They're suffering for it. And I know y'all suffering in real life. I know that it's a group of y'all that is not happy. It's a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of women that are with a whole bunch of people that they are not happy with. And they're going to pretend like they happy online, but it's bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. In the same way that a fat person is not going to be happy that they fat, is the same way that a lot of these women and a lot of these people that's living in their misery, they're going to come online, they're going to sell you an image for profit, but it's not necessarily translating into greatness for them, and they're suffering for it. I'm telling you that people are suffering immensely, and the very thing that they created is the thing that's killing them and eating them up inside, and it is miserable. It is absolutely miserable for most of these people out here. They can't pay their bills. They getting their cars repossessed. They rent is too high. They don't make enough money on their job. Their student loans is about to come due, and it is going to be absolutely, positively monstrous out here for them, and they're going to have nobody to protect them unless a simp like you comes along and you decide that you want to save them from themselves. Unless a simp like you come along and you decide that you want to save her from herself. And then you're going to have to suffer from the decisions that you make trying to save these hoes and thinking that you're being a real man. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that ironic? Ain't it tripped out how everything just comes full circle for everybody that participates in all of this dumb shit? And so what I try to get guys to do is to do the thing that's in their own best interest and not do the thing that put themselves behind an 8-ball. Think about it. Why would you put yourself behind an 8-ball for somebody that don't give a fuck about you? How many more examples do I have to give you throughout my lifetime and the things that you see me experience even on these panels in which they don't give a fuck about you? See, I'm able to do that because for me, I make a lot of money as a result of it, and in real life, it doesn't affect me, right? I can deal with these hyenas on the panels or, women that turn against me or whatever like that online. That shit don't affect me because I just make more money as a result of it, but you suffering from it in real life because you think that shit is cute. See, I'll put myself on a chopping block as an example of what you not supposed to do, but you gonna still do the dumb shit that's gonna put you at a disadvantage. How many more times do you have to learn? How much more suffering do you have to do before you realize that this is not going to work out for you? Make sure y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about everything that's happening to Lizzo. And we're going to be live streaming tonight, so make sure y'all tap in. We're going to get it popping. Make sure you jump into the Patreon. The best day to jump into the Patreon is the beginning of the month. And I just dropped something in the Patreon today, and I'm dropping something in 2 days, and then we're going to drop the meetup location for the next place that we're going to visit, and it's going to be cool. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys tonight.